If you don't have a pillow, it's okay. If you don't want to sit on a pillow, you want to just sit on a chair, that's fine too. Essentially, let's just find a comfortable seat. I keep using the word essentially this morning, so I'm going to throw that out the window. Take a big breath in, eyes open, eyes closed. And then big breath out, let all the air out. We're going to focus on core today. It's going to be a very core heavy class, but we're also just going to tune into the rest of our body. So if you'd like, you can close your eyes, but allow yourself to just take a full breath from the top of your head. Feels crazy, I know. Just means lengthening your spine. And on your exhale, let all that air allow your shoulders to relax. Let the air allow your ribs to soften. Just notice where your body is today. Every day you wake up with a brand new body. So just make sure you're monitoring how your body's feeling and be your own moderator. I'm not there with you, and I'm very key on this. So I just want to make sure that everyone is being safe. So please make sure that you're listening to your body no matter what. We're going to take 2 more big breaths like that before we begin. So go ahead and take an inhale through the nose. See how long you can inhale. And then a big exhale and let all that air out. Kind of like the HA sound, just let it out. 1 more like that. Big inhale. Big exhale. Gently flutter those eyes open if they were closed. Recognize the space around you. Recognize your body. And we're going to take a seat. No pillow needed for that. All right. So from this seat, I want you to just find your legs nice and long in front of you. Now, if you have trouble with having your legs straight out in front of you, you can have a block or a couple of pillows to lift you out of your hips. But we'll start with our legs straight in front of you or a little bit bent. Either one works. From here, though, I want you to find energy in your feet. So either really, really flex them. I prefer flex. It protects your knees and it protects, and it gives you energy through your legs. But I'm going to really flex them, but you can point them too. Or even what we call a Barbie foot, where you're just going through the arch and just really pushing through the 10 or the 5 on this foot, the 5 bases of your toes. You're thinking about extending through that. From here, I'm going to flex my feet. I'm going to take a big breath in, grow tall in your spine, and then exhale, roll back, and you're only going to about that lower back. So really try to get it low to the ground. You can hold on to your legs if you need to, and then come right back up. Use your inhale to come up. Use your exhale to go back. And what you're doing here is simply trying to connect into your lower abdominals, into your ab, into your breath. So as you inhale, you're coming up. As you exhale, you're going back. Good. I probably can go a little bit deeper, but just know that you don't need to go all the way back. You can be right here and still feel that connection, right? Try to make sure that your knees aren't going out or in. They're staying as still as possible. Normally when we're moving, one thing moves and the rest wants to move with it. In Pilates, the whole point of controlology is to be able to separate, right? So my feet are not connected to my legs. My legs are not connected to my hips. My hips are not connected to my spine, and so on and so forth. It's all about isolating. You exhale. We have 2 more actually. Inhale, exhale, rolling back, getting deeper if you'd like. Inhale, coming up. And you have your last one. I always lie. We're holding back. Really ground through your feet and bring your arms in a nice little basket shape. First position in ballet. And you're just finding weighted arms. So press those shoulders down. And you're holding here for a moment. You might feel shaking. I do. Pull the belly into your spine. All that means is thinking about squeezing the abdominals and pushing it all the way back. Take a big breath in. We're just holding. Exhale. 1 more big breath in. This time as you exhale, nothing moves in the hips. We're twisting left, twisting right, twisting left, twisting right. So right away getting that heat. I'm sorry, I know. Get that core in. But remember, we don't want this. I call them salsa hips. We're not doing the salsa. We are trying to be very controlled. You're going for 8 sets. I think I did 4 before I started to chat. So if you've done 8, you can take a little break. Sets are left and right. I have 1 more. Back to center, coming back up. And relax. Good. From here, I say good, but I don't see you. I'm sure it's wonderful. From here, let's go all the way back. You can roll down, and that might feel really good after doing a little bit of getting into that lower abdominals. Now this is really nice. Just allow your shoulders to drop, palms down to the floor, pressing your hands. Find energy in the whole body. So you're able to press through your hands just by pressing, not tightening, just press. From this press, you're going to open your shoulders as well. Lift your right leg to tabletop. The knee is right over your hip, and your foot, don't let it be too far away from you. Keep it at that 90-degree angle. You didn't know geometry will help you, but it will. 90-degree angle. And you're going to do the same thing on both sides. Now, if this already is a lot to manage, you can work with one leg, and then we'll alternate and switch to the other side. But if you're ready, bringing both legs to tabletop, flex your feet. Keep them only hip distance apart. Don't squeeze your legs. Keep them separated. Arms are pressed. All we're doing is extending the right leg long in a diagonal. Right leg long, back in. Left leg long, back in. Exhale. Inhale to send it out. Exhale. Inhale to send it out. Exhale. Now this is all abs. Now you might feel stress in your back. If you're finding that your lower back is like trying to hold on, really engage your abs, because your whole back, your whole core is your abs and your back. Now, if you're finding any of that stressful though, you can bring your legs a little higher, or you can pull the knee in a little bit. So it doesn't have to be exactly 90 degree if this is your first Pilates class. But if you've worked with Pilates before, try to see if you can keep it at 90 degrees. If you're working through this, we have one more set, right and left. Remember that you can bring your head up as well. Last one. Take a little break, knees all the way to your chest. Hug your knees, give yourself a big breath in, a big breath out. And those are just the first few exercises to get our body starting to situate and knit together. And just take a few breaths here, and you can give yourself a rock side to side, or you can roll out the knees, opening the hips. So I'll give you those two options for a moment as you let your back relax. A couple of things here as we're moving through this space and as we're moving through Pilates, just know, allow yourself to breathe, but know that I'm here to just make sure that you're being as light and possible through your mind as you can. This is so cool. Thank you so much. I just want to check in on everybody. Beautiful. All right, so making an intention for your practice today, your practice through your Pilates, think about something that might be lighthearted. A balloon floating in the sky. Your kids laughing. That makes me happy. Laughter is just beautiful. A cup of coffee. If these things make you lighter, try to think of those images. If you have a phrase, a quote, or something that's going to guide you, you can use that too. I think that connecting your mind into this practice is super important, because then it allows things to feel a little easier and a little lighter. All right, coming from our back, since we're hugging our knees, we're going to keep our knees all the way together, elbows wide, hands right on top of our knees. And let's pull the knees a little bit actually away from your chest. So you don't want it to be too tight. You want to feel like your back is flat on the floor. From here, flex those feet. Squeeze the legs together. I like to say, imagine you have a $100 bill between your knees. If you drop it, normally I'm in the room, I take it. So if you're not, since I'm not in the room, just think about that $100 bill. Nobody wants to lose $100. From here, tuck your chin towards your chest, but looking for your belly button, so don't lose this space. From here, pull the belly into your spine as if there's more weight going right into your lower belly and pushing into the floor underneath you. From here, one leg is going out. You're going to hold on to your left leg and let your right leg go out. Right? There are specific hand cues for this, but for now, let's just stay on top of our knee or our shin. You're holding there, trying to make space. So sending the right leg all the way out, straightening out that knee, find energy. Bring it in. Other side. Send it all the way out. And even this bent leg can have energy. You can almost think about pushing it away from you. And then back in. Right leg out. Back in. Left leg out. Back in. Right leg out. back in, left leg out. Super simple. Now you have the option to bring your neck down if you need to. Your neck can be very heavy, or your neck can work hard because your head is very heavy. So if you are working your core, you want to see if you can get yourself a little bit higher with your core so that it's not your neck. But if you need to, bring your neck down and just keep engaging the abs. We have one more set, right and left. Exhale on the in, inhale on the out, and everything comes back to center. Exhale, roll down. Let's come to our side. I'll face you. You can choose your side you want. You can do left or right. Either one works. So we're going to come to our elbow for this just because it's comfortable. Regardless, though, we are still working. So these lovely ribs right here through my white shirt, hello, you're going to squeeze your abs and almost think like I can stick a finger under there, right? So you want to make space underneath your ribs and the mat. So it just means like a slight lift. Watch. Slight lift, if you can see me, slight lift, right? Bending the knees so that they're kind of in a 90. You don't have to go fully. We're just opening the top leg and closing. Opening the top leg and closing, right? These are called clams in PT world. These are really just working your external rotators. So those hips, the booty a little bit, right? Now, if you're letting those hips roll back, though, nothing's happening. So you have to imagine that there's a little wall right on the outside of your leg, and it's going to feel like a wall. You're hitting in. It's like, I can't go any more than that. That's the wall I'm talking about. Hit that wall and try to go a little further each time. So that glute can really work for you. One more. Good. From here, you're going to take the whole top leg off, flexing the feet, both feet. That top leg is just closing and lifting completely parallel. Down and lift. Now, even this amount of control can be difficult, right? Not letting anything move, not letting your ribs drop, trying not to have tension in the face, right? Grace under pressure. So a phrase we use at Anti-Gravity Fitness, I teach aerial yoga as well as Pilates, so I just love that phrase, grace under pressure. It's like a ballerina doing all that work, but nothing's happening in her face, and she's a beauty on stage, but you know how hard that pirouette is. Oh, you know how hard. Sorry, I have a lot of energy. One more. Bringing it down. Take a second. Shake out that hip if you need to. And then bring it all the way up against. Try to bring it to a float and right parallel to that bottom leg. So don't let it be that the heel kicks out or the knee kicks out. Even just holding it might be a lot. From here, your foot is kicking straight towards your booty, but down towards the wall. I just hit my mirror. Let me scoot up. Okay. All right, so you're stretching it long, pulling it in. Stretching it long, pulling it in. Now do a few of those and see where your body's taking you, right? The first one might be like, booty's working, but it also might send you back, right? It's really controlled. That was 4. 4 more. Sending it out, pulling it in. Resist the in. Abs are on and strong the entire time. Ribs are lifted. I'm forgetting about my ribs as I talk. One more. Last one. And keep it out there. Just the heel, lift and lower. Lift and lower. And you're trying to stay right in line with your body. If you can see your toes through your peripheral eye, then it's okay. But see if you can fight to not see those toes. Maybe bring it a little bit further back than what you feel is natural. Right? 3, 2, 1, and relax. Come to your back just for a moment. Take your legs up to the sky and just shake out both legs just so you're keeping the blood flow circulating in the body. And then to transition to the other side, we have a fun wall. Fun one. It's called rolling like a ball. So 2 knees are together, squeezing, pointed, Barbie, or flexed. Hands on top of those shins, curling up. You can give yourself a little moment. I like to give myself a little bit of a pull with my abs. Don't just roll. And then that's going to give you the little bit of momentum to try to get up there and balance. That first one wasn't it. You're going to roll back to control. Roll, come all the way up. This one's just fun. It's kind of like when you were a kid. Give it a few tries. See if it works out for you. The first or 2 might be a fail, and that's okay. It's all about trying, and it's all about practice. I'm going to do a few of these as you're practicing. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, coming back. I'll take it slow if you need it. Inhale. Exhale, roll that lower part of your back before coming to your upper part. And then try to find balance at the top. And last one, rolling back. Inhale. And feet down. Laugh for yourself if that was completely ridiculous. My first time doing that, I think I was about 14. I've been doing Pilates, I think, a while. Or maybe I was in college. I might have been in college. But I remember I was literally going to the left, to the right. I couldn't stay on the path of my spine. It's okay if it is. If you got it, though, and you got that good massage, you're welcome. All right, I needed that shake up. So we're going to go to the other side of this side series. So going on your, I'm going on my right hip. You can go on your left or your right. Or whichever one you didn't do. Same thing, though. Coming to our side, finding the ribs, and you know where we're going for this one. So from here, just finding that top leg to a clam, opening that external rotation. And push yourself. I'm a righty, so I know my left glute does not fire in the same way as my right glute. When I'm walking, my right leg is dominant. Those are things that we don't pay attention to on a daily. I'm all about compensations and trying to make sure that we're evening out our body, because naturally as we go through the day, I'm not using this booty. So I'm going to go a little bit more on my left side. If your left side's your stronger side, maybe switch at the very end and try to get that right side a little bit more love, right? So I'm going to even it out and just open it, thinking about pushing that wall away. Don't let your hips roll back as a reminder. Keep the ribs up. And now just take a big breath in and think of that balloon. Exhale. Or that cup of coffee. I actually didn't think of my intention. I think my intention might be, since I'm talking, I wasn't even thinking of my own. I think my intention might be my money tree sitting in the corner over here. She's just thriving, guys. She's sprouting new little buds every day, and it's so inspiring. So I'm like, oh, look at you just thriving out here in these streets. And I'm over here trying to just keep up with her. So that's what this is. I'm starting to feel that burn. So I'm going to open and close. Last one. We're going to flex this foot. Find that hover. I might have killed you on that side if you were joining me on each one. You're going to lower the full thing and lift the full thing. So when I say the full thing, I'm talking about my leg. The whole leg lifts, the whole leg lowers. And I'm not trying to straighten it. I'm not trying to send it away. I'm thinking about my heel and my knee coming together like a full load, right? Full load, dropping. 3, 2, nice and gentle. 1, try not to give up. Last one, you're going to lift it up, send the leg straight. Again, I'm going to hit this wall. Normally this doesn't happen when I'm working out, but because of the camera, I'm trying to make sure you see me. We're stretching the leg and we're pulling it in. Stretching the leg and pulling it in. Now, I just want you to do a few where you don't flex that foot. And I want you to see how heavy your leg gets. You see how heavy it gets? Oh my gosh, I can't even keep going. You're going to flex the foot and send energy out. The more energy you send out, the lighter your body becomes. Energy does not get destroyed. It transfers. So all that energy is doing is going out of your foot. Literally, it's going away from you. One more. Stay out there. We're going to try to fight through it. We're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Something I didn't say on the other side is just that make sure you're not externally opening. Make sure that toe is facing straight in front of where you're looking, right? Making sure that if you do see the toe in your peripheral eye, see if you can push it back a little bit so you don't really necessarily see it if you're looking straight forward, right? Let me pull my ribs up. Abs are on. 3, 2, and your last one. And relax. Come to your back. One more shake out. Legs up. If you can get them all the way up to above your hips, wonderful. If you're here, wonderful. You can bring your hands underneath your butt if you need it. You're just going to shake. Shake those legs. I like to give the Beyonce shake. Do you remember that video? She went all the way down like that. Yeah, that was me. I was just going to shake. And we're going to do roll like a ball one more time. This time I have an option for you. You can either do the first roll like a ball, where we came all the way up, or you can bring your hands open your knees first, bring your hands to your ankles, and then bring your hands underneath your ankles. So essentially, if you can see me, you're going to find this shape at the top. Either toes touch, feet can touch. If this is your first time trying seal, this is where we're going. You take that roll, hands underneath those ankles. Take that roll coming up, coming up. Take a little tap of your feet, tap, tap, and then roll back. Exhale. Inhale. Tap, tap. Exhale. Inhale. That inhale helps, I promise. Tap, tap. It makes you lift up out of your spine. Exhale. Inhale. Tap, tap. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. That one was wobbly. X. Beautiful. And come all the way up. Let's come to our fours. So coming onto your knees. If you need to give yourself a little shake after that, you can. I always allow that. Bring your hands to the floor. They're right underneath your shoulders. Take an inhale. Round your spine and pull your chin to your chest. Now this is active. If you have any issues with your wrists, you can come to your forearms, or you can just find something soft padded to press your wrist against so that it's not necessarily going straight into your wrist. But before even that, press the floor away, rounding your spine. Spread your fingers wide. Your hands and your feet are the root of your tree. So really think about pushing them into the floor, deep into the ground, and round your spine. Pull the top of your head towards your belly button. And then go the opposite. Keep your fingers spread. Inhale, take an arch. We all know cat and cow, right? Think about shoulders back. Even if you don't know, this is your introduction and it's nice and slow. You're welcome. So exhale, round under. I'm so demanding this morning. Inhale, arch, cow. Think about sending your heart also forward. So not just sitting back in your hips. Be evenly on top of all fours. Last one, exhale, let all the air out. Every last drop of air that you can find. There's probably a little bit more in there. And inhale. Open the heart. Good. From here, find a flat back. Your hands are pressing into the floor. You're going to just I'm tucking my toes just because it gives me a little bit more stability. Walk forward a little bit. If you don't want to, you can keep your toes pointed. Your left leg is going straight behind you. Heel is towards the ceiling. Do not let that hip open. Both hips, both headlights of our hips are facing the ground. You're lifting the leg, lowering the leg. Keep moving. As you're lifting, the heel is lifting straight to the sky. It might not go too far. What I don't want is your back to be involved, and then it becomes ribs, right? I want just right underneath the booty, lifting and lowering. This is Pilates. It's about control. It's about your breath, and it's about listening to your body. That's why I love it so much. You're going to do one more lift and hold, bending your heel back towards your booty. So keep the knee up. Heel to the booty, extend. Heel to the booty, extend. Notice if you're leaning more to your left hand or leaning more to your right, or even sitting back in that right or left booty if you've decided to use the other leg, right? Think about being very even. You lost a leg. You only have 3 now. 3 limbs. 1, 2, 3. Last one, stay in. You're going to love me. Keep the knee up. Heel is pressing to the sky. Up, up, up. The hardest thing here is not letting that hip open, right? We don't want that part of our muscle to be worked. We want right underneath the booty, the part that needs to work, right? When we're walking, it could help us, but it doesn't. We're lifting up, up. 4, 3, 2, hold, control it down. Take a shift back into your child's pose. You can flip your palms up to relieve your wrist and just take a breath, just one breath in the center. And exhale all the air out. Flip the palms down, shift to the other side. You're going to use the opposite leg. I'm just turning around. That leg is straight behind you. Be mindful that you want that heel not to be open. Keep it straight to the sky. We're lifting and lowering. Lift and lower. Keep going with that. Just going to check in on the people. How's the people doing? Aw, this is burning. You're welcome. Awesome. Keep going, lifting and lowering. So essentially you want to keep that leg nice and straight, that hip down. The leg is finding all the energy in the world, and you're just simply lifting from right underneath the tush. Okay? 4. Don't even know how many you did, but we're going for it. 3, 2, and 1. Keep it up. Bending the heel back or knee back, heel toward booty, and stretch. In and out. I always say the second side is easier, and sometimes it can be because it's your dominant side, but it's also just a mind thing, right? We already know where we went the first time, so the second time you're like, I got this. I know what we're doing. Yeah, you do got this. I'm sure you do. Reminder, spread those fingers. Don't let it get heavy in the chest. Always push the floor away. The more you resist the floor, the easier it feels to hold yourself up. You have 1 more. You're going to keep it bent. Heel presses to the sky. Heel, heel, heel. Now be forgiving. If that hip opens, that's okay. If you are having trouble keeping it parallel, it just means you're not working as much as you think in parallel, right? And that's okay. We have improvements we want on our body and also things we're trying to work on. Exhale. 1 more breath. Last exhale, control it down, and sit back in that child's pose. You can keep the knees together, or you can open the knees in a comfortable wide, and just relax, head down or chin down on the mat to stretch the chest, and take a big breath into the back of your heart. Exhale, and let your heart drop heavy to the floor. I'm going to do 2 breaths on this one. That was your first breath. And you'll do 1 more breath. Going back. All right, take your time. Roll through your spine, come all the way up. We're coming to our knees still. We're facing front. If you have issues with your knees, you can take a seat. You can sit on a pillow or a block, but I'm going to prefer to be on my knees for today. Keeping them hip distance apart. These are your hip bones, and your pelvis is like a little bowl. So think of your sit bones as the very bottom of your bowl, right? Where it sits on the table. That's your sit bones. They're right underneath you. So when I say sit bone distance, they're much smaller than your hip bones. Your hip bones are a little wider, so hip bone distance. Arms in that ballet first. Shrug your shoulders up, back, and down. And I want you to feel as if there's strings right underneath your shoulder blades and they're pulling down your back. Don't think of that as arching. Think of that as pulling down, weighted. Staying here, taking a big breath to grow. Exhale to twist to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to your left. Notice my hips aren't coming with me. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. I'm not using any weight and I'm sweating. Right? Your body can give you so much. So many resources, right? It can make you feel heavy or it can make you feel lighter, right? Not only does our mind have to think of the lightness, but our body does too. So it's easy grace under pressure. Good. Keep both hips center. Don't let it come with you. We have 1 more set, right and left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, try to keep your fingers in front of your chest. Don't let it go to the side. And relax. Shake out your hands for a moment. Arms up. Press open to a T. Ready? Just doing some arm circles. We're going forward, keeping the energy long. As soon as we create chicken wings, anybody could do this, right? Stretch, stretch, stretch. Forward, 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 forward. Nothing else is moving. Maybe a tiny bit your body might have a reaction. Try to even limit that, right? Breathe though. Doesn't mean hold your breath. And going back, 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 back. I'm walking forward so that I can see you. Back, 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 back. Beautiful. Absolutely. Back. Thank you. Back, 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 back. Forward again. Forward. forward. Bringing the arms up as you go forward into a nice B. Back as you come back to T and then down to a low V, right? Forward, up, up. Forward just means it's going up before it goes forward. Up, it goes to forward. Up, up, and back, 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 back. Are your arms tired? Probably. Bring your arms all the way up and all the way around. Shake out your shoulders. Coming off your knees, if you're on your knees, come all the way down to your booty again. We're going to take that roll back. You can take it for your massage or you can take it for your abs. I'm going to take it, like I said, it's core focus today. We're going to take it for our core. You're going to roll back, and all that rolling means we have a lovely tailbone. It goes right into our booty. We're tucking the booty first, tucking the tailbone, and trying to get to each place of our back, each vertebra, to the lower part, to the middle part, to the upper part, neck, and head. So going straight from your tailbone all the way to your cervical spine. All right, guys, from here, pull the knees in towards your chest. Take a moment to find that back and then find your tabletop. This time your legs are all the way together. Flex your feet. Excuse me. From here, your arms are going right above your shoulders, so right on top if your arms are stretching to the ceiling. You're going to press down and roll up. Look for your belly button. Inhale, coming down. Exhale, press. Reach those fingers away from you. And inhale, roll down. Exhale, press. Remember that your hip flexors right at your hip might get tired here. And that might be because you're holding a lot of tension there. You are letting your hips do all the work because they like to do all of the work. But I want you to see if you can get your core to do all of the work. What will help you here is getting the squeeze of your legs, or just take one leg down and do the same thing. Alternating. You'll do 4 and then alternate to the other side. For everyone else, let's take 3 breaths. Sending those shoulders away from your ears, reaching for the back of your head towards the center. And your last breath, roll in, make a little ball, open your knees, grab onto your feet. This is going to be a great stretch. Especially if you had a tight hip moment just now, this is going to feel really good. You're holding onto your feet. If your knees don't open as wide, monitor and moderate. You can open your feet and holding onto your toes. You can go from the outside or the inside. Find what works for you. Everybody is different. Everybody is different, right? So think about opening those knees, though. I want this to be less about your knees going toward your chest and more about your knees opening, right? Once you feel that it's opening, you can pull the feet a little bit in towards you and just take a big breath there. Even if any of these are no option, remember you always have an option. You can always just drop your feet to the floor and open your hips as well. I find that I can get a little deeper if I'm holding on to my feet and letting my knees open. Take one more breath. Remember that intention you set for yourself. Reignite it with your breath. Close the knees or bring the knees back to your chest. Roll to your left side and come all the way up onto your booty again. I didn't want to do a rolling ball that time. All right, so from here, we're finding the same thing we found at the very beginning of a class, but we're just going to find a little bit different, right? Scoot yourself back so you have space. Stretch your legs if you can. If you are finding that bent knees feel more comfortable for you, or something under your butt feels more comfortable, go back to that. That's okay, right? It takes years and years and years for your body to break habits. It takes weeks or years because it depends on how much you're dedicating to it. So just make sure that you're taking your time with the body that you have and the body that you've created, all right? Take your time. From here, you're just going to allow yourself, my legs are straight, your arms are going to be touching the floor, fingertips touching, and flex your toes. Flex, flex, flex. Think about growing taller first. I need a touch of water. I have my coffee here, though. Excuse me, I didn't want to keep coughing. From here, your fingertips are here. You're growing taller. You're tucking the chin to your chest. And just allow your fingers to go forward without your body going forward. Think about your back, the middle of your back going behind you. So you're thinking about pulling the belly to your spine as well. Abs are on. As you found this rounded shape in your chin to your chest, you might find a stretch all the way from the top of your head down into the back of your legs, right? That might mean that your back body is quite tight, and that's okay. Pull the belly in, strong, strong, strong. We're rolling back and sending our fingers forward. Rolling back and sending our fingers forward. Finding space. Inhale. Exhale this time. Inhale. Keep flexing your toes. Inhale. Exhale. Going up. Last one. Exhale. Reach all the way forward. If you can bring your knees or your nose to your knees, reach for it. If your hands are on your toes, reach for it. If it's your ankles, your shins, your knees, reach for it. Take a big breath in there and see if you can soften your entire body, including your feet. Exhale. One more breath. Let everything drop. If you need to lift up for a moment, you can. Exhale. Let everything drop. And roll all the way up. All right. That one was to prepare for our full roll down and our full roll up. Your legs are straight. This time your legs are pointed. And we're going to do something called Pilates V, right? It means making a V with your feet. Doesn't have to be, if you ever seen ballerinas and their first positions are 180 degrees, it doesn't have to be an open hemisphere. It just has to be a little V. But, biggest thing, kiss those heels. They don't separate. If you can get your heels to kiss and you're pointed and your legs are rotated, knees are facing into a big V as well, but your legs are trying to squeeze together, then you are in your Pilates V. Even on your block, you can do this. Just don't go all the way back. If you're going all the way, take the block underneath you away or the pillow. From here, exhale, rolling back. Trying to get that tailbone down. That's the hardest part. Tailbone down, down, down. Let it be first to touch the floor. And then keep rolling. Lift the arms up. Exhale. Keep your legs straight. Roll up. Use that breath to come all the way up. Now, you might have got caught back there. That's okay. Retry and see if you can get that exhale to help you up. We're doing 8. Inhale. Rolling down. Exhale. Pull the belly to your spine, trying to get that lower back first, then your upper back, then your head. Keep the legs squeezing. Exhale. Pull, pull, pull the belly in. Ellie, into the spine. All the way up. Grow. Inhale. Exhale. Rolling back. Now, if Pilates V feels crazy and you're like, I don't know what this is, it's not helping me yet, you can find your legs parallel and flex your feet as well. Just still think about that energy of squeezing the legs together. It gives you the same amount of intention and the same amount of strength to be able to pull yourself all the way up as well. Exhale. I believe this is 4. I get so motivated sometimes I just want to keep going. Rolling back. That's a lie. I just forget to count. We're rolling up. Exhale. If you've ever taken a fitness class with me, you know I'm like, I think this is 5. This is 6, rolling down. And you can see how very simple this can be and how you can really energize your whole body. Pulling the spine. These are just simple roll downs, simple roll ups. Exhale, last one. You know I lie, so I have one more. Exhale, rolling up. Last one, rolling back, and we're going halfway back. Hold. Don't move. Just let that lower back come to the floor. Hold. Big breath, shoulders down. Reach those arms away from you. Reach your toes away from you. Hold. Big breath in through the nose. Big exhale out. All the way down. And take your knees to your chest one more time. Shake out your legs if you need to, or even have those hip circles. You have options now. You have moments of breaks that we've had through this class even, so you can do whatever we've done already. Take one more breath there. Good, and you have the option to roll up or just come to your side. I like the roll up. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. This is about your 5-minute mark. What is this new ab exercise? Cool. I'm not sure which one you were talking about, but we just did those roll down. So those ones can really ignite you, okay? We have about our 5-minute mark. We started at 10:30. It's 40 minutes in. And I invite you after these 5 minutes to come into our 10-minute meditation. But this last one is all lunges, guys. So let's finish with a bang. Coming back, coming back, coming back. Let's stand all the way up. We've been on this mat. I like to do, lately I've been doing lunges from standing. I kind of mimic my clients. If they're having things they're working through, I tend to kind of try them out as well with them and see what that one is feeling and two, how it's going to change my body, right? Everything is a learning experience. So you might not see me all the way in this frame, but I'm all the way at one end of my mat. So if you're using a mat, use that as your length. Really feel like your feet are parallel. Toes are facing straight in front of you. Heels are facing behind you. Looks like this, right? Straight. Make sure they're not open or turned in. They're nice and flat, and they're right underneath your hips, right? From here, your hands can be on your hips. Genie or arms straight up. All right, I'm going to have arms straight out for this one. You're going to take a step with your right foot. Keep your left foot steady, pushing into the floor, but that right foot is going straight forward. Pause. Check if your knee is in front of your toe. Is it on your heel? Is it too far back? It wants to be 90 degrees. Geometry. Now from here, see if you can get a little lower. This is where I want you to go each time you step. Even that back heel can be lifted a little bit more for me, right? Think about trying to be even on your feet. Just holding this can be a feat. One more, you're going to go back and just keep the weight in your left foot, but push off of the right. Push to come back, right? That first one is your information boatload, all right? It tells you where your body is. Let's try the left side. Even weight, press the shoulders down, taut, exhale, press, bend. Try to see if you can mimic that other side and come right back. Yeah? Right side. Down and up. Left side. Down and up. Control. Don't let your hip fund the salsa. This is not the move, right? I like doing this. Think about finding right underneath you, straight up. Right underneath you, straight up. There's a string on your shoulder and it's pulling you up like a puppet. Pull. Weight in the heel, pull. You're going to feel this in your glute. If you're feeling a lot of thigh though, you might be pushing your knee forward a little bit too much. So right underneath you. You're still going to feel your thigh, don't worry. Underneath. One more set, right and left. Last one. Back up. Shake out your legs for a moment. We're adding on. I think we need a little bit of music for this one. Just a little bit. Ending with a bang. Right foot forward. Finding that shape. Making sure you're at 90 degrees. Lower down, lift up. Lower down, lift up. Lower down, lift up. Last one. 4 is our number. Going all the way down. If you can manage keeping that knee on the floor, untuck those toes, step that foot a little forward. I have long legs, so I have to. And just lean into that stretch. You can also do this from standing. Just keep the right leg bent, left leg straight, and think about sending your hips forward. Pushing as if someone's on your butt, pushing your hips forward. Push, push, push. You'll get that stretch right through your psoas, right through your hip flexors. It will be deeper if you are on your knee, though. Leaning into it. Take a big breath. Challenge your balance. See if your arms can come up. Big breath. Exhale, hands back to your knee. Tuck the back toes. If you want to use your hands on the floor or some yoga blocks, you can. You're coming right back up. Straighten the back leg for a moment. This time we're stepping forward. Keep your right foot where it is. Left foot steps forward. All the way up. Take a jog to the back. We're going to the other side. Left leg forward. Finding those lunges. Going down. Do you hear my music? I'm not a pump girl. I'm going through the nice and slow like molasses. That's what I like. One more. And all the way down. I definitely did more than 4 on that side. I got too happy with that music. Same thing, taking that stretch. Either leaning into the hip, pushing the hips forward, trying to keep from opening. So that if you can see both butt cheeks from the mirror, wrong, right? Just think about 2 hips forward. I say wrong, but it's okay. If you open your hips, it actually just gives you a whole different stretch is what it is. So think about keeping those hips even. If your back leg is stretched, keep the back leg stretched. And just take 2 breaths in that side. And then find your way up to this shape, up to the back leg straight and bent front leg. My front is my left right now. And pushing into your left heel, take a step all the way forward. And all the way up. Take a big breath in the center. Open your legs nice and wide or right underneath your feet. Press your hands above you. My ceiling is short, so I always press into the ceiling itself. And then exhale, take a moment to just reach for your toes or let your head drop. Take a bend of your knees if you need to. Relax. And then take your time to roll up. Each bone, let your head be last. Same thing, big breath in. Press into whatever you can, the sky, the moon. Reach how far you can go. And then exhale, you can roll down or go flat back down. Take a moment to release at the bottom. Use your exhale. And then all the way up, each bone at a time. Take your time. If it takes 20 seconds for you, it takes 20 seconds. No one else is in the room with you, right? You can be whatever you want to be, all right? Once you're at that last roll up and you come all the way up, first and foremost, if you're not coming into meditation, I want to thank you for even taking the time to be in Pilates and taking your breath and moving through your life, okay? Taking the time for yourself is the most important thing that you can do for yourself, so thank you for allowing yourself to be in this space and control your body. If you're joining us for the meditation, find a pillow, something comfortable. You can even take a seat on the chair. You don't have to be on the floor. I will be on the floor. Ugh. And let's just take a big breath in. Let all the heat we've created in our body, the energy we've let bubbled, just dissipate back down. Right? Allow yourself to just exhale. Closing those eyes, letting your shoulders drop to the floor, letting your ears drop to the floor. Allow for the tension around your eyes to release as well. So focusing on the face muscles for right now. Allow your jaw to soften. And it can be almost like a drooling sensation. Let the mouth slightly part and let the air just simply escape the lips. And these breaths can be how you want it. It can be the HA. It can just be a gentle sigh and release. It can be a groan, sweetie. It's okay. One more. This time on your exhale, allow your hands to flip open. Allow yourself to receive all the connections you've made, right? As soon as we close off our body, we're closing off ideas, ideologies, mental capacities, closing off our body. So think about opening the shoulders, lifting out of your hips, opening the palms. And now from that place, take a big breath in. See how different that is? I can feel it right away. Exhale. And as you're letting your body soften, you can continue with the sound of my voice. If you want, you can just breathe and ignore me completely. From here, just going to guide you through the body. Take a moment to recognize your face, your eyebrows, your ears, your jaw, the top of your head. And then allow your neck to soften. Take a moment to recognize the space in your throat. If your chin is tucked, maybe lift it a tiny inch or millimeter, even that much can do a difference. And then check in with your heart, your shoulder space, your back of your shoulder space. You don't have to squeeze those shoulders back either. They're just open. And then take a moment to find right in between your solar plexus, right in the middle, generally going through the line of our chakras actually, without even intending, but thinking about those ribs, right? You have your front, your side, and your back. And we can send all of our energy straight into where we need it. So just take an inhale right into the ribs. Let it expand like balloons. And then exhale, let all the air go out. There's always a little bit more at the end, so we're going to do one more. Inhale. Even more inhale. Exhale. All of that air. Finding your hips. We worked on that stability today. We worked on our tailbone, our sacrum, without even realizing it probably. So that area is probably hot, energetic. Take an inhale into that space. Grow out of your hips. And then exhale all of the air out. Same thing, but still keep your lift. Don't sink into those lovely hips. And then finding your length of your arms, just tracing back for a moment. Let your arms feel nice and heavy. Right? As much as we feel heavy, we also feel light. There's always a balance. There's always an opposition. So as you are allowing your shoulders to drop, your arms to feel heavy, also allow for the palms of your hands to feel heavy. Let it be rocks. Let it be marbles. Let it be heavy clouds if you want to do that idea. I just thought of that. Let it be heavy, but also let it take away some of the heaviness as well. And then down the length of your legs as well. Inhale to allow your thighs to release. They might be holding on and you might not have even realized. Check if your glutes are holding on. Your glutes hold on to everything. Allow the thighs to release, the ankles, the toes, the wrist, the fingers. And just try and find a moment of stillness. I'm not going to talk for a moment. I just want you to focus all of your energy onto that intention. Maybe if it's a balloon, let it start from the ground and watch it in your mind float to the top. Maybe it's a cloud. Maybe it's the actual quote, right? So just take that. Let's take 4 big breaths to allow that to happen. Continue just sitting in that silence for a moment. See if your body has changed, left to right, top to bottom. See if you feel like you have cooled down, if your heart rate has come down, if you're finding that stillness. Or if things want to fidget. And on your next exhale, gently flutter those eyes open. Just take your time. Like lampshades or like curtains opening into the world. Recognize the space that's around you. And thank yourself. Thank yourself for being here, for being a part of this.